Here is a typical conversation between people when it comes to floods. Cannot believe the damage, cannot believe what the locals must be going through. The government must do something about the floods, etc., etc. Here is how the ministers and politicians talk about floods. Great tragedy, supplying ration. Chief Minister, Prime Minister, President, God will do an aerial survey. The opposition must not do politics right now. Relief package of 50,000 lakh crore, blah blah blah. Apologies, but we have to mock the leaders and you and us. When floods arrive, everyone has an opinion, but no solution. When floods recede, well, we go back to Mandir, Masjid, or if you're slightly fancier, Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp. I'm Kalyan Deb, and in this episode of Decoded, we try to understand what led to the recent devastation in Haflong and Dima Hasao. Pursuing for months,
Tripura village of Assam
in the 75th Independence Day.
Luke Combs is not a well-known singer in India, and why should he be? He sings American country music. But his song, When It Rains, It Pours, is the best way to summarize what happened in mid-May in Dima Hasao. Now, at the cost of sounding almost offensive, allow me to point out one thing. Hey, at least no wildfires. What, you ask? Well, Dima Hasao also happens to be India's most forest fire prone district. Wait, do not get angry. Not us, experts. But this was the problem on the other end of the spectrum. Remember last year, we had droughts.
আগলৈকেতো আৰু ভয়াৱহ পৰিৱেশ হৈ আহিব এতিয়া একঘৰ মানুহৰ 20-25,000 টকা গুচি গৈছে আমাৰ যিখিনি খৰচা গ'ল সেইখিনি বিনিময়ত যদি আমাক অলপমান চৰকাৰে সাহায্য কৰে আমি বহুত আনন্দিত
Who was to know that 2 years worth of rain will fall in one district? Is it too late to blame climate change on Pakistan, Bangladesh maybe? The district received incessant rainfall for days, which is a lot even by Assam standards. So much so that people of Delhi and other regions battling heat waves and not having a drop of water in sight were told to exercise caution before watching videos with so much water. Just kidding. Of course, they will never have as much water as us. Now, for a region that witnesses a lot of rainfall, for now, rain in itself is not a problem. The problem is much more modern, unlike rains, which is, well, billions of years old. The problem is that you are facing biblical rains with, a perforated umbrella, torn boots, and a raincoat made of cotton while trying to cycle. Over just 2 decades, Dima Hasao has lost the second highest forest cover in Assam, topped by only the nearby district of Karbi Anglong. In short, we have massacred the forest cover in the erstwhile North Kachar Hills. But hey, let's not talk about that right now. By the way, Assam lost 14% forest cover. But oh yes, I forgot. Let's not talk about that either. We have Kaziranga, Manas, Dihing Patkai, Dibru, Saikhwa, Orang, Nameri, and most recently, Raimona, bro. और कितने जंगल चाहिए? Railways are not new to Haflong. The British, ever so diligent in ripping every natural resource in every region they visited, built train tracks to sell wood from the region. The influx of labourers in the region, in fact, gave birth to Haflong Hindi, a beautiful dialect that we promised to cover in some other video. In 1996, broad gauge conversion work was started to convert the 100-year-old British-era rail network of 180 km from Lumding to Badarpur, which connects a vast section of the northeastern region. In typical Indian fashion though, it was not until the mid-2010s that the project was completed. Even before the most recent accident, this route, which connects the states of Tripura, Manipur and Mizoram, has had several minor landslides. Are the train tracks in a hill region with soft soil safe? Experts have not always agreed on this.
they did not follow the proper scientific method of study while planning the railway. And that's, I am not talking about it. I think in 2010 there was an audit report over the cost escalation of the whole entire project. The report clearly talked about massive escalation of cost because it was not fully planned. The tracks were not, gradients were not studied properly. At many places alignments were faulty. It clearly says in the report. Even they used reports of geologists who said that that area belonged to a very seismically in a very critical zone because it lies on the Disang thrust. So and this kind of areas are prone to landslides. That's what the geologists and other experts say. So I think that was a clear kind of negligence on the part of the authorities while taking up this kind of big projects, and we have seen the devastation as a result.
But here's the thing, even we are not stupid enough to blame all the destruction on a railway project. However, it would be equally naive to not ask questions to those in power. For now though, do not expect a nice train ride to Haflong, Assam's only hill station. So who is to be blamed then? In short, everyone. Not equally, but everyone. Experts believe that while trains and highways to a certain extent are responsible, it is the rampant, uncontrolled mining at the hands of political mafia that is at the core of this problem. Heavy machinery is being used for this purpose even in naturally stunning places like Manipur, and as a result, the riverbeds are strained and disbalanced. What chance do they have against furious water currents? Then there is sand mining, stone mining's cousin. Heavy machinery has rendered the riverbeds to undergo a sudden change in many places of the rivers. Stone mining, sand mining, forest cover loss, I still cannot believe the rains did that though, right? Also, it is not as if gargantuan ambitious projects are not to be blamed. The east-west highway that passes through Dima Hasao hills and the conversion of the old meter gauge railway track to broad gauge are also to be blamed in part. Many people have raised apprehensions about whether proper hydrological surveys and studies are conducted before starting such large constructions in the hills.
The Hasao whole situation is actually erroneous developmental plan, because during the period of highway constructions and this broad gauge railway expansions, geo-ecological situations was not properly considered. That aspects is not assessed properly, and many of the critical slopes are destabilized. And there are many areas during the period of construction we have observed, because the Mahasa, one of the district I visit very frequently. So many peat soils are coming up when soil is dig out. So it indicates they go to the aquifer level, groundwater level, where that kind of soil is possible to get. So means aquifer level are exposed, over which the construction is there. So there is a continuous water coming from the below. There are many pockets where the water springs are there. Now road is there above the water springs. So obviously from the below there is a water coming up, natural waters, and from the above there is a intensive pressures because of the traffic. So it destabilizes the whole landscape, and the surrounding critical slopes are destabilized already because of construction. So all these together creates the more effect on the whole process actually.
And while the recent damage is unparalleled, let us not forget that landslides in Dima Hasao are like BJP's dig at Rahul Gandhi. Never a matter of it, but when. The Mahur Jatinga area has so many landslides, some people want to declare them anti-national. Last year, it was declared that there would be an elevated corridor in a stretch of 15 to 16 kilometers in the hills with soft soil. Yay! Such is the combined, never-ending commitment to the holistic destruction of forests. We almost miss the days when coal mining was destroying the forests. Now what? Nothing. Episode over. Outrage khatam. But jokes apart, what do you think will happen now? Let's see. Do you think the government will take a strong stance against mining, involve the locals to rebuild ecology in a sustainable way, cancel all projects that do not adhere to the strictest environmental norms, build a concrete strategy against climate change? The chances of a rhinoceros donning an Armani suit and dancing to disco honti is higher than any of these happening. Because outrage is temporary, greed is permanent. In fact, the government is even eyeing at June next year to re-establish railway connectivity to Dima Hasao, and we all can imagine how that is going to turn out. And come September or October or January, it will be the picturesque Dima Hasao that will make the headlines. And oh, if we did offend someone, then thank you. That was the intention.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to EastMojo. For any queries, put them down in the comments section below and press on the bell icon for notifications.